Cancellations on Christmas. Hundreds of flights have been changed across the country. How Missouri travel is impacted.
Temperatures break records across central Missouri and much of the Midwest when cooler air arrives in my first alert forecast.
Plus, a service has been scheduled for the Boone County Assistant Fire Chief who died this week. Where and when is coming up. This is KOMU 8 News at 5.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Well, hopefully you're no longer wishing for a white Christmas because it's going to be a warm Christmas. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Avery Everett.
And I'm Matt Beckwith. Thanks for joining us.
Matt, it sure was warm today.
Yeah, and that might be a bit of an understatement.
I know.
Let's look at the almanac today. 74 was the high temperature for today. We broke and really shattered the previous record of 69 degrees. That set back in 1889. And our normal high temperature, our average high temperature for this time of the year, also completely shattering that by 30 degrees, 41. So 74, 48 was that low temperature, just as we were expecting. Still at 5 o'clock this evening, some of you might be firing up the barbecue grills, feeling more like the 4th of July. Or at least maybe Labor Day for us. 73 in Jefferson City right now, 71 in Columbia, 69 in Fulton, 74 in Eldon, 70 in Moberly. Cooler air is going to filter our way, though. A cold front draped up across parts of Iowa into Nebraska and Kansas. That's going to move our way overnight, and that's going to bring us the chance of a few showers. Our high temperature for Christmas Day going to happen when the clock strikes midnight, and the upper 50s to low 60s will still be in the 50s tomorrow afternoon as well. A full hour-by-hour look at what to expect coming up in just a few minutes.
You're taking a live look over I-70 just past Rocheport. There's a steady stream of cars rolling by, and this is a sight seen across the country on highways with the holidays. The Missouri State Highway Patrol has already reported a handful of crashes today from across the state. MSHP has reported 19 crashes across Missouri since midnight. Now, none of those have been in mid-Missouri, but most of them had related injuries. Here's a live look at the MoDOT Traveler map. Traffic should be moving according to that map, aside from a few areas with road work. Traveling for Christmas on the road is actually going to cost less than Thanksgiving travel. Gas prices are already higher than last year, but they are coming down. Unleaded gas now averages $3.29 a gallon. A 500-mile trip from Dallas to Kansas City will cost you about $66 in gas. That's $2 cheaper than it was at Thanksgiving. Some people are choosing to drive to avoid that risk of spreading COVID-19.
The potential of taking it home to our families who are all coming from different places is just too much of a risk.
A top concern nationwide is distracted driving, impaired driving, and speeding. Speeding surged 11% last year, which pushed a big spike in fatal crashes. You're taking a live look over the Columbia Regional Airport. So far, COU does not have any flights canceled for today. It has 2 flights still left to come in today. But there are flight cancellations across the country today because of COVID-19 concerns and the weather in some areas. United Airlines and Delta each canceled more than 100 flights throughout the day Christmas Eve. JetBlue canceled about 50 flights. The airline saying the nationwide spike in Omicron cases has had a direct impact on flight crews and the people who run the day-to-day operations of those airlines. Some passengers say the only way they're traveling this season is with a good backup plan.
That's why it's good to have plan B, C, D, E, F. You know, if I'm not able to get into a Delta, I'll go in JetBlue, and try to, wiggle my way back to Boston.
Connecting flights and flights home next week are still up in the air since it's unknown how much Omicron will still affect flights going forward. Millions of Americans are packing the nation's airports for the Christmas holiday. The TSA reports screening 2 million passengers on Wednesday across the country. At Boston's Logan Airport yesterday, there were long lines at security checkpoints and COVID-19 testing sites. AAA predicted air travel will be up 184% this holiday season, and that travel overall will increase more than 30% since 2020. But new requirements for international travel caused confusion and an increased demand for testing at airports.
This is the world of COVID right now. It's not fun by any means, but this is unfortunately what you have to do.
It's January 3rd to be the peak travel day after the holidays. The Biden administration will lift the travel restrictions on 8 African countries to curb the spread of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. That's according to a senior administration official. The travel restrictions will end next Friday night. The official says the travel ban on those countries are no longer helpful since the Omicron variant is already widespread. We have an update on the memorial services for the Boone County Fire Protection District Assistant Chief Bryant Gladney. Gladney died early Wednesday morning after a semi-tractor trailer hit the service vehicle he was in on I-70. There will be a visitation on Monday from 4 to 7 p.m. The funeral will be on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Both of those events will be at the Hearns Center. After that service on Tuesday, the procession will exit the Hearns Center onto Stadium, travel north on Providence, and turn left onto Business Loop 70 West, and end at the Memorial Funeral Home. We'll continue to keep you updated on our website, KOMU.com, as we learn more. 5 local restaurants gathered today to provide some holiday spirit to first responders and frontline workers. This year will be the 4th anniversary, and there are some changes. KOMU8's Matt Paskowitz is in the studio to explain the meaning behind this event. Matt.
Avery, 3 years ago, Como's Smoke and Fire received the wrong order of ribs and did not know what to do with them. An idea was born to donate the food to first responders.
What started as an accident has turned into an annual Christmas Eve tradition.
We were delivered the wrong ribs, and we were like, what do we do with these? And my husband was like, let's go deliver them to some firefighters.
Since that mistake, Como's Smoke and Fire has donated food every Christmas Eve. Employees and volunteers drive all over Boone County to make sure every first responder and frontline worker is catered to. The event has become so well known that first responders eagerly wait for the event each year. For one employee, he could not imagine ever not doing this every year.
When I started working here, it was just a shock. It's like, people really do this. And I was in my 40s, and now it's just, I couldn't see myself not doing it.
This year, 4 other local restaurants have joined in to assist with donating to over 40 locations. The look in the people's eyes makes it worth it to continue doing this every year.
It gives you chills. I mean, with everyone, you shake everybody's hands, you take pictures with them for their own personal or their Facebooks as well as ours, and it's an amazing feeling.
Como's Smoke and Fire plans to continue giving back for the foreseeable future.
If you'd like to learn more about the restaurants that participated today, you can visit our website at KOMU.com. In the studio, Matt Paskowitz, KOMU8 News.
This is a look into space, but tomorrow it'll be through a new lens. How it's happening is coming up. And still ahead, how one cop is creating Christmas spirit with just her voice.